Hey guys, we're back. We decided to take a little bit of a break from mining. We've been mining pretty much non-stop, and we decided to use some of these amethyst crystals here. We've been finding a lot of the clusters in the mines, so we decided to put them to use and decorate the stairwell here. And we kind of go every other on these ones. There's nothing too intricate or too much planned, but it does kind of help tie in the areas. And at the bottom of the stairs, I don't know if you remember, but there is an amethyst cluster down there. So as we enter in the stairwell, we go all the way down. We enter an amethyst cluster, and then the rest of the storage is down there. So we're going to be decorating that a little bit, and we're going to be fixing it up. Once we have this all figured out and all the stairwells and the storage room decorated, it'll kind of tie into what we want to do with everything underground and how everything's connected. We'll have different areas that have different blocks, and they'll all be connecting into one centralized area, most likely the castle. So as we decorate this area, it'll branch out and it'll start to connect closer and closer as we get more of these blocks. It'll start to connect more to the castle, and once we get close enough to the castle, then we can start integrating these type of blocks in the castle as well. And we should have enough blocks in storage to be able to complete what we want to complete on the stairwell, in the storage room, and the small section. And as you can see, the sides, they kind of tie in together there. Making our way into the actual storage room itself, here is the floor. We're going to be redoing the floor, adding all the amethyst and the same textures into this floor plan here. And it'll kind of tie everything else together, and it won't look so boring when we walk into it, and it'll kind of give it that underground mine feel with, a little bit of amethyst as well. As you can see here, we pretty much just use torches for the lighting. There's not really many other things that I like to use. I have glowstone and I've used it in the past, but we're pretty much sticking to torches, and we're going to make it work for now, and we're not going to get too complicated with things. From here, this is the top. Of course, we have about 6 feet of snow up here, which is kind of why I didn't really finish any of the top of the build here. I just kind of kept digging down because I was a little frustrated with it always getting snowed on. But we did end up finishing the stairwell on both sides and the roof there all the way down. I kind of like the stairs. It looks like the top of the stairs. It looks like it's inverted, so it's got a cool little feel to it. Almost like a little disco vibe. But as we make our way into the little amethyst here, we make our way through, and we did get the floor plan in here done, a little bit on the walls. We still do have to do the ceiling, so that'll be next. And if you look at the back right corner, right over there, that's a little tunnel area, and we were thinking about putting villagers down there that sell or buy stone for emeralds, and we wouldn't have to leave and go back up to our castle to sell anything over there or transport stone. So we'll see how that comes out. So next on the list, we got to take the ceiling down. So we're going to be mining out the ceiling here, and we'll be putting in the same textures in the ceiling as we did the floor. Sometimes I like to mix it up a little bit and have the floor a little bit different than the ceilings, but with this specific one, I kind of wanted to encase it, much like an amethyst that you'll find when you're mining. The whole thing is just amethyst, and that's the kind of feel I wanted to get into this type of mine when we come down here. And the top, as you saw, wasn't quite finished, but maybe we integrate a little bit of amethyst into that type of castle. We built something up there. The main idea was to make that castle look like it got blown up and there was pieces all over laying down everywhere. And but we'll see what happens as we get further and further in. So after we did mine the ceiling out, behind all these chests you can see the stone when you look through. So we did also have to mine out all of that, and we'll have to place it with the amethyst and the other block textures that we have. As we're getting through the walls here, there's different things that we can do, because as you'll notice, after we replace this block, we get to this side and it opens up into the mine. And through that, we can have a couple different things. We can mine all the way around it and have it kind of stick out a little bit more, or we can kind of try to keep it covered and make it so it's kind of mysterious and how hidden in the walls a little bit. So there's a few different things that we can kind of do and play around with in here. But after we dug out that whole side, we did move to this side, and this will be the last side that we have to dig out in order to replace all the blocks. So we're moving right along here, and we're just going to keep things moving. This is honestly my favorite part of building is, taking away the blocks after you have something kind of half built and a good idea in mind. So I really enjoy mining all around the stone and the chests and just waiting to see what it'll look like. So here we did end up mining all the way around and going into the ceiling. You can kind of see I place all the blocks and then one at a time. One different color at a time, and then I'll go in and I'll just add the fillers in there. Like we started with Amethyst, and then we went to the white one, and now we're going with the deep one, and pretty much we just continue this variation throughout until it's all filled in. And then we'll get to the outside, and we didn't really know what we wanted to do with this, but after looking at it from the side, we figured that we would want to also integrate this section because this has all of the ores. As it has all the ores, we also want to make sure it feels part of the section. So we're going to be mining all around here. I couldn't resist mining that copper. This is all we do when we are building. We just kind of put a block there, a block here, try to get different patterns going and, try to make it look wholesome and relatable. And this is the last section. So we did the walls. We just have the roof now in this small little area. So we're on to the home stretch. As soon as we get this all dug out on the ceiling, then we can start placing blocks and then see what it looks like. From there, we can kind of go and see what we want to do to extend it out and all that stuff. But we did end up finishing it. Of course, it's snowing. Why wouldn't it be? So we're going to go take a look at this whole thing. Making our way down the stairs, we already saw all of this, but, looking at it again, it looks pretty sweet. I'm very happy with the way it came out. Again, we do have torches in there. I feel like maybe a different type of lighting would be the only thing that we would kind of do from here. But as we get in through the amethyst here, you can kind of see that this whole room now is all amethyst and all those different blocks. There's a little exit there, but I did end up adding a couple crystals on the ground or on the ceiling. If those start to get in the way as we're depositing ores, we'll move them, but for now we'll be all right. We did end up covering up that tunnel over there that we were going to put some villagers in. So we're going to see what happens from here. And yeah, we're just going to continue it from there. Moving out to the actual mine, you can kind of see that it's outlined through here, and you can kind of see the box. So I think I am going to mine all the way around it so it really sticks out, and it just kind of looks like it belongs there, and it looks almost like a little fortress, little mini fortress in there. And yeah, as we kill this slime, I hope you guys did enjoy the video and kind of how everything came together from start to finish. And, I just got to figure out what the next build is, and we're going to be continuing to mine. We do have a good amount of redstone. I believe the next video will be an update on how many blocks that we have, how many mines that we still need to get to, and just different things that we're going to be working on. And this is what we were left with materials after building all of that. We still have a little bit left over, but definitely not much. We did use a lot of the blocks for this build, and we're going to be looking for more amethyst in the future, so that if we ever want to do this type of build again or add on to it, that we do have enough stuff. And again, I was just pointing at that corner, and we'll figure out about the villagers a little bit later.